Good morning, second and third grade. This is Bible for Thursday, March 19th, the first day of spring. All right, we're going to continue talking about Elijah. I have a couple sentences I'm going to read. I want you to think about. Think about them as I read them. A bear helped a bee find honey. A fish helped an otter build a dam. A friend in first grade helped you study for a test. A student that you do not know helped you find your lost puppy. Okay, if we think about these statements, is there something strange about each one of these? You might have got it, might have not. The one helping is the one who is the least likely to help them. A bear is not going to help a bee find honey. A fish is not going to help the otter build a dam, and a friend in first grade, they could help you study for a test. That's probably more likely. And even a student you don't know helping you find your lost puppy. But the first two, they just would not happen. Okay? Well, sometimes God uses people to help us that maybe we wouldn't have picked out or we would have thought helped us. Well, with Elijah, he had the least likely helpers to assist him. God doesn't always provide in the way we might think he will, or maybe different ways or different things like that. Elijah had to trust God, though, to provide for him during this drought. Remember, the drought is when there's no rain. So there was no rain for 3 years, and God provided for him by the way of ravens. Well, ravens are scavengers. They are animals that feed on dead animals or discarded food. They like to hoard their food, keep it all for them. They don't want anyone to eat it. It's theirs. A raven would have been one of the least likely birds to bring Elijah food. Bringing food to Elijah would have been very strange for a raven to do, yet that's what God used to provide for Elijah in a very unexpected way. And when that brook dried up and Elijah had to move on, God told him to go to a city on the coast. God led Elijah to a widow from a city. A widow at this time would have had no other way to make money. A widow means her husband has passed away, so she doesn't have her husband there to work. A widow may have been the least likely to have food for Elijah. She had to have food for her family if she had kids and for her. But this widow gave the little she had, and God used her in an unexpected way to provide for Elijah. There just kept being more stuff and more flour, the ingredients she needed for the bread. It was always there. Like I said a couple days ago, your parents would have really liked that if they could go to the pantry and there would always be fruit snacks coming out or whatever your favorite snack is. It'd be so much easier if it just kept refilling by itself instead of having to go to the grocery store. But God provided this way for Elijah with two sources that were unlikely, what you wouldn't expect. He may provide for us in ways that we never expected. I know he's provided several things in my life I just never would have expected that way. God may bring an unexpected person your way to give you what you need, or God may use strange circumstance to help you through a hard situation. Many times we may not understand how God works, but we need to know he's always working things for our good. We've talked about this before. One of my favorite verses, an unexpected way God provides is always better than what we think. We think we have a plan, kind of like when we plan something out. We think our plan is going to work. It's the best. It's the greatest. And sometimes mom and dad will say, no, we're going to do it this way. And we often find out that was a much better plan than what we came up with. And a lot of time that is with God. We got a plan. We know how we're going to do it. But God says, no, I'm going to do it this way. And we've talked about this verse before, Romans 8:28. It says, and we know that in all things God works for good to those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose. So we can know, God promises right here in his Bible that we can know all things work for our good. Okay, we've talked about how chocolate chip cookies, the chocolate chips are good, sugar's good. You may not want to sit there and eat flour though, or baking soda. So the ingredients we put all together make a great thing. But the ingredients by themselves are not ones we want to eat all by themselves. So God takes everything in our life, puts it kind of like you could imagine it in a big mixing bowl, and then mixes it up and makes our life. We get what He has for us. God may provide a new friend in a way you didn't expect, or a new neighbor. So we can always be maybe be the answer to someone's prayer that they wouldn't expect us. Maybe be the one that the unexpected to someone. Have your ears listening right now. It's hard because we kind of got to stay in our house, but we can pray for people. There's plenty of people that need prayer. There's different things you can pray for people in your church you might know about. So our lessons this week have talked about not being discouraged and just trusting God. It's the time right now to trust God, and just for that peace, He'll give us path of direction. We'll know what to do, and we can rest in Him, and then you can enjoy your time off and get your school stuff done, and then enjoy time with your family, and you can share how you trusted God, and you can read your Bible and pray. So have a great Thursday.